My name is Tim Deveney, and I'm manager of preacher relations at Christian Foundation for Children and Aging. The recent trip that we took was to El Salvador and Honduras. We took 10 of our priests, along with some of our staff members from Guatemala, to see our projects and visit with families in both El Salvador and Honduras and see the work and expose our priests to stories of CFCA sponsorship. There was one family that I visited in that community, and the father, his name was Don Enrique, and the mother was Doña Angelina, and then their kids were Jose Manuel, Hazel, and Joanna. A beautiful family. Just the love that Enrique and Angelina had for their kids and the hopes they had for them. Don Enrique talked about how when he was a kid, he was orphaned at a young age, and the people he was living with didn't believe that education was valuable, and they really wanted him to work in the field. And Doña Angelina had a similar story in that her father and mother just didn't believe that girls should get an education. And so we were visiting with this couple who were completely illiterate, but at the same time they were going to do anything to make sure that their children would get an education. And they make great sacrifices for their kids to do this. Don Enrique, his big sacrifice is that he leaves his family for 14 days at a time to work in the city. And it's especially touching in the context of El Salvador, where a good portion of the men leave their families. And I think Henry Flores, who works for the communications department in El Salvador, said that about 75% of the men, or 75% of the households, do not have a father or a husband at home. Well, Jose Manuel is currently sponsored by CFCA, who's the oldest child in the family. He's actually sponsored by a man here in Kansas City. He's able to go to school. He has a regular new set of clothing, shoes, and during the trip we had two of our priests who were there. One of them told the family, he goes, if you are okay with this, I want to get a picture of Hazel, and then the project staff can send the picture of Hazel and her family record up to Kansas City, and I will find a sponsor for her on January 24th, 2009 in Papillion, Nebraska. And then one of our other priests quietly went up to the family and told them, well, since your other two kids are sponsored, I'll sponsor the youngest, Joanna. Because of CFCA sponsorship and the generosity of 3 people, this family is going to have a chance to provide an education for their children, and these children are going to have a chance to break the cycle of poverty and hopefully make a difference in their country and in their community.